This is great. We're in Zurich, Switzerland, and it's the Cycling World Championships, the 2024 World Championships. Well, today is the mixed TTT, but never mind that. Our minds today, you and I, are on the road race coming up this Sunday, and it's supposed to be damn hard. So much so that Tadej Pogacar has pinpointed this 2024 edition as being the one that suits him the most. And last year's winner from Glasgow, Mathieu van der Poel, says he doubts whether or not he can perform on this course. Mathieu van der Poel. Well, that gives you an idea of what the riders are facing on Sunday. And to get some more details and insight, I'm hoping to speak to the riders today. How hard is the circuit?
It's hard. There's a few sections which are more technical than you think. I'd be curious to know what it's like in a bunch, because it's also quite narrow in parts. So I don't know if you're going to get a ton of elastic. Sometimes you think courses have a lot of elastic and they're not. It's like Quebec, you can sit last man that race until 2 laps to go if you wanted to. Seems stupid, but honestly it's not that hard. So it can be strange how circuits kind of play out. So I think we'll find out after second lap.
Yeah, World Championships always have been pretty tough. It's an extremely long one, plenty of meters to climb. It's definitely going to be a toughest one. A tough one. I don't know if it's the toughest.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, yeah, all the road races is going to be really challenging, like even from the juniors all the way to the men and women elite. I think, it's a really hard circuit, and the more times you do it, the more exhausted, the riders are going to be for the final.
Hardest in years?
Yeah, I think at least the road races that I did since 2016 or something. Yeah, definitely it's up there, and I think also that we do the climb, or that they do the climb so many times, that's going to make a difference in the end.
Yeah, I mean, hard to compare it to anything I can think of. Maybe Montreal, it's got a similar amount of elevation, but some really hard, like, steep climbs. Thing is, we were reconning it with the TTT in mind, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh wait, this is also the road race course, and that was a bit, daunting to realize. But it's going to make for an interesting race on Sunday for sure.
True, every World Championships is hard, but this one is particularly tough. It's 1,000 more meters of climbing than we had last year, 2023 in Glasgow. This year, 4,500 meters of climbing. In the final circuits, a 27-kilometer circuit, raced 7 times. There are 2 significant climbs and 1 steep kicker before this flat, fast run to the finish. The riders are going to have a heck of a day out. The only thing working in the men's favor on Sunday is that we're expecting sunny conditions. Not so over these next few days. Here we see the Danish boys relaxing after their TTT. So expect anything on Sunday. And also what we're hearing from the riders is that it's not just Pogacar, but Remco and many others in a one-day race. That can be a factor. And also you have to consider that it's national teams, not your normal trade teams. In your experience, how do you deal with Tadej Pogacar in a one-day race?
I mean, Remco's got almost just as big a Palmares, also one-day races as Poggy, so it's not just him. You just approach it like you do. You try to play to your strengths, or use your head, or even do something that's a bit not normal, but sometimes it can pay off. Don't really care, to be honest. Sunday, I just want to try and get out there, be good, and be in the race.
It's the Tadej Pogacar problem. How do you deal with him and the team in green? Or is it more than just Tadej on Sunday?
Definitely more than Tadej. I think the Belgians are probably the favorites here. They've got a really deep field as well. I think with Tadej, he doesn't have like the strongest team compared to some other nations, so that's going to be his biggest disadvantage. But yeah, on a course like this, your legs can take you really far. So it'll be an interesting one for sure.
How do you deal with Tadej? How do you deal with Slovenia?
I think you can't really deal with him. If he wants to go, he has to go. But I think we can try and be preemptive, maybe get a few guys up the road before he goes, and just try and do what we can.
Starting in the outskirts of Zurich and coming here for those 7 circuits that they do, 275-ish kilometers. It's going to be a doozy of a day, and for sure it's worthy of a monument, worthy of the Rainbow Jersey World Championships that they're handing out to the winner at the end of the day. And out of the top favorites, Mathieu van der Poel, Remco Evenepoel, Tadej Pogacar, only one of those hasn't yet won the Rainbow Jersey, Tadej Pogacar, and he is already one of the all-time greats, and this would truly cement his status, going for the Triple Crown with the Giro d'Italia overall, the Tour de France overall, and yes, maybe so, becoming only the third in history to win the Worlds, added on to those two in the same season. What's gonna happen? We don't know, but we're gonna be tuned in when the men finish here on Sunday, the Zurich World Championships.